What's up guys, Jay here and welcome back to another impromptu news video. So yesterday, as of this video's recording, Ghost Ship decided to announce a Q&A post talking about something that was going to be added in with Season 5. Now I don't know exactly how I missed it yesterday, but I must have been really busy looking at the sun, so that's probably how I missed it. In any event, the post is talking about some frequently asked questions that people have been having about the reactivating of old seasons that's coming in Season 5, which, if you are unaware, is a feature that they're adding in with the launch of Season 5 that is going to let you actually progress and go through the past seasons instead of the ones that are currently active, which is a very interesting concept because they've never done that before. So like usual, I thought it would be interesting to read through it and give my genuine first reaction to reading this post and let you know my thoughts and what I think is going to happen. So if you guys are ready, let's go through this post and see the kinds of questions that people have, the answers that they gave, and if we can discern anything about what to be expected from the new season changing. Hello, miners. As you may have seen in our post about the first details for Season 5, one of the new features we're working on is giving everyone the ability to reactivate previous seasons and play through them at your leisure. Implementing a system like this involves a few structural changes, and we're here to share some details about that. If you're thinking, eek, big changes, don't worry, you'll still be able to play with everyone as usual, and all the seasonal cosmetic items are still earnable for free, just like always. Nothing's going away, deep breaths. I do love how everything that gets added into the game is always in, it never goes away. It really helps to get rid of the sense of missing out or the fear of missing out. So I'm really glad that they justified at the very beginning that that's not changing at all. We put together this Q&A to give you more details on how this season reactivation feature will work, and so you know what to expect when we get it up and running. Let's get into it. How is the season reactivation thing going to work? Here it is in a nutshell. In the season terminal, there will be a new tab called Season Selector. You'll be able to pick any available DRG season and activate it. When you select a season, that'll kick any party members and reload the space rig, just like when you disband a lobby. Then you can invite friends back in or make the lobby public. Party members don't need to have the same season active in order to join you. As part of this, we're replacing the Disable Season Content option with a season simply called Vanilla. This option has no associated performance pass and a balanced chance to spawn events and warnings from all seasons. So then we get a little picture that they have that shows a work in progress of the actual season selection terminal, and this looks pretty good. It looks pretty self-explanatory. It looks like you're just going to be able to select what particular season you want to work towards, and I'm guessing the cosmetic tree, the season overview, and those types of things are going to adjust accordingly. One thing I am curious about is if the space rig is going to look like it did during the older seasons, because with Season 3 and 4, it has the rock pox going and sort of spreading all over the space rig, but in Seasons 1 and 2, it didn't have that. So I'm wondering if the space rig will actually change and adjust its visuals to tell you what season you're actively in. If not, it's not a big thing. It's more cosmetic than anything else, but I still think that would be interesting. And overall, I think that this is a really cool and interesting change that they're adding, and it reminds me a lot of the way that Halo does their season pass selection. It's basically just you pick which one you want to go through and you just select it and it progresses, which I think is a really, really nice idea. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that this looks, and I'm excited to see what else they have planned. And then after this, it looks like they have a lot of different questions that people have been asking, probably myself included, so let's just see what answers they have for this. Can I still play with other people if they've got a different season selected? Yes, everyone can still play with each other no matter which season they've got selected. Because the mission terminal reflects the host selected season though, it's possible that a few individual missions might not show up for the other players if they've got a different season active than the host. But not to worry, you can still join any lobby or any season through the server browser. So that's an interesting thing, that your missions might not show up. I'm guessing that's talking about the missions that are specific to the introductory assignments. You know how every time a new season comes out, we get those introductory assignments that sort of show us what to be expected in the season. Like for Season 1, we had the mission to do a industrial sabotage mission because that was the new thing. And when Critical Corruption came out, we had a assignment where basically every other mission was a Rockpox mission. So I'm guessing that's more or less what they're talking about. It still seems fine. It still seems like you're still going to be able to play pretty much whatever you want with whoever you want. It's just that maybe some of your missions might not show up, which I still think is not too big of a deal. Will I be able to see which season people have selected when I browse through the server list? Yep. Well, that's Okay, that's a very short and sweet answer. If I join a game where the host has a different season active, what happens? You'll progress on the season that you've got active, and the host will progress on the season that they have active. Everybody wins. That's a really good thing. It's nice that no matter what, you're still going to be able to progress on whatever season that you have selected, and it's not really going to contradict anything that's going on with any of the other players in the lobby. I think that that's really, really good, and it allows players to sort of do whatever that they want and focus on whatever season that they want. Will seasons still have enemies and events from other seasons? Yes. This is just like the game is now. Even though we're on Season 4 at the moment, you could still come across enemies and events from past seasons on some missions. With this new system, these probabilities will be adjusted to reflect the focus of each season. So Season 2, for example, will have a comparatively higher chance of rival tech encounters and rival presence warnings, but there is still a chance that a corruptor could pop up. This was something that I actually had a lot of questions about, because there have been different events and different enemies and different things that would happen that were kind of like specific to seasons, or maybe not specific, but because they were added in with those particular seasons, they had an increased chance to spawn. So this is one thing I was curious about. They seem to have answered it pretty clearly that yes, you can still get anything that will happen, but in seasons 1 and 2, you're going to have a much higher chance to get rival presence stuff, such as the prospectors or maybe the nemesis. But there is still a small chance that a lithophage meteor could drop, or that a herald might show up, or that you might just get a random rockpox swarm. But it's significantly smaller. It's not going to happen nearly as often as it does now, for example. So this is interesting, and I do like this change. Will season-specific assignments be available again for those who didn't play them? No. Season-specific assignments like Season 3's Part 1 Critical Situation, for example, won't be coming back. However, a new assignment for Season 5 will be available to everyone. Okay, so this kind of completely negates what I was talking about earlier with the assignments that are specific to the particular seasons, that they are not coming back, which I guess kind of makes sense, because that would probably pose the biggest issue to this system for the reasons that I just mentioned. In some cases, it might also drive some people away, because if I remember correctly, the one for Season 4 that started was like 6 or 7 missions long, and every other one was a lithophage outbreak mission, which was just absolutely insane. And while it's good to introduce people to the concept, it kind of makes people get stale of lithophage very, very quickly. So I think this is a decent choice that they made. What happens to all cosmetics from previous seasons that have been moved into the game? We're moving all those items back into the original spots on their respective seasons' performance passes and cosmetic trees. So for example, a weapon framework like Waster from Season 1 is going to be put back into Season 1's cosmetic tree, which is where it originally appeared. You'll then be able to unlock all those frameworks by progressing through the cosmetic tree. The same applies for the headgear and paint jobs. This kind of makes sense. It wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for all these things to still be in the basic pool or the general pool of cosmetics if their seasons are coming back, so I think this makes a lot of sense. If I played a previous season before, will the game remember my progress? Yes, each season's performance pass and cosmetic tree will be set to wherever you left off. If you were at level 87 when the season originally ended, it'll still be at level 87 when you reactivate it. If you never played a certain season, progress on its performance pass and cosmetic tree will be at 0. This is nice. I do like this, especially as somebody who just recently changed platforms that they play. I used to play on the console version, and now I play on the Steam version, where I didn't really get a chance to play any of the older seasons. This is going to be great, because this means that I have even more stuff to grind out. But overall, I think this is really nice, and I think that keeping everybody's progress is obviously something that everyone's going to love. What if I'm playing through an old season and encounter a cosmetic reward I've already unlocked? If you reach a node in the performance pass or cosmetic tree that contains an item that you already own, we will reward you with some credits instead. Credits can be exchanged for goods and services. Okay, this kind of makes sense. If you didn't play during Season 1 or Season 2, for example, and you got one of the things that was from that season pass from a generic loot crate or from the cosmetic shop, and you reach that particular thing on the performance pass, it's just going to give you credit. So that makes sense. I think that's a pretty fair exchange. What happens to the seasonal cosmetic matrix cores I've got? If you've got matrix cores infused with any seasonal cosmetics, those will be removed from your inventory and placed back into their respective performance passes and cosmetic trees when Season 5 launches. In return, we'll give you a different matrix score, this one infused with a non-seasonal cosmetic item. If you've already unlocked and forged all non-seasonal cosmetics, you'll get some crafting resources instead. I don't know how I feel about this particular one, just because you're taking something away from somebody. I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense, because that would kind of be weird if you could craft something that is already in the season pass. But at the same time, the people already have it, so I feel like you might as well just give it to them, and then just when they unlock it from the season pass, you just get credits instead. I guess what they're basically trying to say say is craft all your seasonal exclusive Matrix cores now before Season 5 comes out, or else you're going to get it taken away from you. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this, but I guess it is what it is. What about the seasonal stuff in the shop and cargo crates? Any cosmetics that were originally part of the season will also no longer be available via the shop, cargo crates, or lost packs once the season reactivation system launches. Again, they're not disappearing, you just have to go through a season-specific performance pass or cosmetic tree to unlock them. This means you can unlock these essential cosmetics directly rather than relying on getting lucky with cargo crates or lost pack RNG. This also cuts on loot pool bloat, meaning you'll have higher odds of rolling everything else that does stay in the crates and packs. So I feel like this is kind of a double-edged sword in a couple different ways. Yes, it is great that they're cutting down on the loot pool bloat, which means there's less things that you can actually get from those cosmetic packs. But at the same time, I also feel like because you're going to have to put a lot more work into those past seasons to unlock everything, I guess it is giving people more stuff to do because people have been saying that there is a little bit of a content drought for right now. So if anything, this is definitely going to be holding a lot of people over until the next big thing after Season 5 comes out. Ultimately, I do think that that's a good choice for them to make because it will make it so that way it's easier for you to get the certain things that you want. If you liked the mil-spec weapons from Season 3, I believe, then you can get those very easily. If you like the waster weapons, you can get those right away, and you can kind of pick and choose what it is that you want. Again, similar to the way that Halo does their season passes. So overall, I think this is a pretty good change. So do I need to do anything before Season 5 launches? No, not really. Like we said above, nothing's really going away here. You'll still be able to play with anyone you like, and every single item is going to be unlockable for free. The only situation where you might want to do something is if there's some seasonal cosmetic in the shop you've been eyeing, or if you've got one of your unforged Matrix cores. You might want to scoop those up before Season 5, otherwise you'll have to unlock them in a different way. Hopefully this helps clarify some things about how the system works and what it will mean for your beloved friends and cosmetics. If you got any other burning questions about the system, feel free to drop them in the comments. If we see certain questions popping up a lot, we'll try our best to address them and update this post with the reply. Again, all this takes effect when Season 5 launches in June. Speaking of that, we have some more to share about Season 5 later this month. Ooh, a tease? Spoiler season inbound. Get ready, everybody. Oh, also, in case you haven't heard, the indie game world is putting something cool together. The III Initiative Digital Showcase. We can't give away too many details, but Gosha Publishing is very proud to be a part of it, and we hope to tune in and watch the debut live. The whole thing kicks off on April 10th at 7 p.m. CEST. Trying to figure out what time that is in my time, but it'll be up on screen right now. So there is a little teaser trailer for whatever the III Initiative thing is that they talked about, and I just sort of watched it, and it's kind of hard to say exactly what it is, but it's probably just going to be a showcase that indie developers have maybe for things that they're working on, probably maybe something like E3, but just on a lot smaller scale because it's more indie devs, which is cool, and I look forward to seeing what they're talking to about that. So just to give a couple of closing general remarks and my overall feel about this season selection system that Season 5 is going to be implementing. First, I think that this is really, really good for people who are getting into the game now who did not really have a good chance to play some of the earlier seasons. If anybody's been an avid watcher of the channel, you know that Season 1 is probably my favorite season. Not because it was the first one, just because it was, in my opinion, the one that had the most substance to it. We had a new mission type, new weapons, new enemy types, which love them or hate them, they changed the way the game functioned essentially, and it just implemented a lot of things that I thought were really, really good. And the fact that people can now actually experience that season for the first time, even if they haven't played during that particular time period, is incredible. They seem to be doing a lot of work to make sure that accessibility and gameplay and getting the things that you want are staying completely free and completely painless, which is something that I really, really have to give Ghost Ship credit for. I don't know a single other game development studio that does stuff like this, at least off the top of my head, that tries to go above and beyond to make sure that everything that you have, that everything that you can unlock and all the stuff that you can get is completely earnable in-game for free without any sort of other external purchasing or anything like that. Is it a lot of work? Yeah, but that also makes it a lot of fun because it means that you essentially always have something to work for, and the fact that you're going to be able to do things in the different seasonal time periods, I guess is the best way to call it, means that you're going to be able to mix things up a lot. You'll be able to say, okay, you know what, why don't we see what it was like in Season 2 right now? and fight the bots more than we fight the bugs. Oh, now that I'm talking about it more, it sounds like Helldivers all over again. In any event, to close out a little bit, a lot of the questions that they had answered were questions that I had myself, and I'm very excited and I'm very happy that they were able to answer a lot of these questions. And the fact that they did this whole thing just for one aspect that's coming out with Season 5 has me very, very excited to see what else is coming in Season 5, and the fact that we literally got a tease for later on this month that we're going to be getting more things for Season 5 has me very, very excited. So there you have it. There was the Q&A for the season selection system that Ghost Ship decided to put out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if you think this is a good change, if you think this is going to be awesome, if you're excited, what season you want to play through the most, if you want to stick with Season 4, or if you want to go back to Season 1 or 2. And let me know how you guys feel about this, and if you have any questions that they didn't answer that you think somebody else in the comments might be able to answer for you. But anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative and entertaining. If you did, please be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, as it lets me know what types of videos you guys want to see. Rock and Stone Miners, and I will see you in the next video.